Today we're doing Matt Chat answering your community questions, and this is actually the final video I'm recording from this studio hole that I got going on over here. So next week, you're gonna be seeing fresh new environment, and hopefully that all looks and feels better and a little bit more room for me. Deporticus comes in with the first one. Shout out to him, great creator and great community member as well. If Gable were to link up with the Creed brothers, where do you think that leaves Alpha Academy? Are Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa enough to keep that a faction? That's a great question. I think they are. I think what they need to do is, I think Gable does need to go and with the Creed brothers, go over to SmackDown in the draft. They don't have to be like drafted together as a faction yet. I think they slow play that. They tease it a little bit on TV with them doing like the training montage stuff. So they got an association. But what I want to see is that heel moment. Get them all drafted over to SmackDown. Get them to beat down the Street Profits or somebody else, whoever is going to be over on SmackDown in the tag division, and do a faction together where it's Team Gable. Just give me Team Angle, and it's a modern 2024 version of it. Where does that leave Tozawa, Maxine, and Otis? Probably on the other brand, just kind of doing their thing. Tozawa and Otis as a tag team together, I think we've seen it on some matches on Raw, but it would totally work. And Maxine is doing her own thing in the women's division too. So I think they could just kind of stay together as the Alpha Academy, and maybe they just have that moment where Chad Gable breaks off and turns his back. He also doesn't, Chad also, as I think of it, Chad doesn't have to like turn his back on Alpha Academy, but he could be drafted separately or request to be drafted separately, which would be kind of cool. Because then he could say, it's not you guys, I have to go and do this, and then he gets all healed up and he becomes Team Gable. I want to see that. Tim says, how soon do you think we'll get a WrestleMania 40 arena properly added? I was hoping it was with patch 1.06. No idea. I have zero idea when they're going to release the WrestleMania 40 arena. I also hope that, and was wishing that it would be like right after Mania. I'm sure it takes a little bit of time in terms of getting like the designs and seeing what Mania 40, the XL arena, was going to be and what it looked like. But it's gotta be soon. I hope what they're gonna do is release it. The first DLC is coming out May 15th, I think. So my hope is that before May 15th, like the week before, if I'm 2K, I would try and get this thing out, this WrestleMania arena out, a week to 2 weeks before the DLC first drops. That gets people a little bit more excited. Maybe they could actually patch some stuff to fix the game, because I gotta talk about that in a whole separate video. But hopefully that Mania arena does come out a little bit before the DLC, not with it. It's also a separate thing. Like, it's not going to be bundled into the DLC pack 1. I don't think you want to jumble that. Get some hype going. Release the Mania 40 arena before it comes out. Then you got CM Punk to kick off the brand new DLC and do that, and then start some good momentum because they need it. Featon Porter says, Matt, I love your work. I hope you continue to strive on your channel. Thanks, man. My question is for you or anyone who sees this, but does anyone know how to do a multi-man dive in 2K24? They promoted in the gameplay trailer with Ray did a whole dive on Judgment Day, but didn't show any footage or how to actually do it. Multi-man dives. Thanks. Take care. Good question. I think I've pulled it off like once. I think you just got to get multiple people. Like if you're on the top rope, you could do a dive and I think do it in the ring with two guys standing there, and maybe it'll work. You could try where you get two people on the outside and you're on the top rope, and then you try to do a dive or a dive to the outside. I think it's just really difficult to pull off, because the way you could test it is if you can, get 3 controllers, and then it's you and you control 2 other AIs. Have them stand on the ring and then try to do a multi-man splash and see if it works. I have had it work before, but it's really difficult because you got the AIs running around. Kadar talking, we talked about Chad Gable a little bit. Kadar says, do you think we're getting per Gable like Kurt Angle and TNA? I hope so. Gable, just to close the book on this thing, Gable needs to heal it up. I need to see him be like Kurt Angle, TNA, right? Just overly hyper aggressive and get really, really mad about everything. That's what I want to see, just super intense. Typical teenager, can we switch the ring announcer in my GM? No, you can't. Maybe next year. Viper Assassin says, hey Matt, question for you is, what's the first match that you'd be doing as CM Punk 2K24 when the ECW Punk pack is released? Big fan of the channel, keep it the work. Too sweet. No, too sweet to you, my friend. I'm very excited to play CM Punk, a big CM Punk fan. The first match I would do with Punk, I might do Punk versus Rollins, Punk versus Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. I really like that. I don't know. I just want to have CM Punk in the game, cult of personality hits, get him out there, see what everyone in the community is going to create for alt attires or give us like long-haired CM Punk. I'm really excited to be able to get my hands on him in the game, all of the attires for him, play him in universe mode, even like superstar mode, I would do that. So I'm pretty pumped for it. I would probably do Seth, Roman, Cody, and John Cena. Those are my picks. Sewer Fan, what is your top 3 go-to albums or songs? Dealer's choice. That's tricky. So I'm an oldie. Top 3 songs though? Or albums? Okay, Nirvana Nevermind is always on my list forever. Slash Unplugged in New York, because I just love those albums. I'm a big Foo Fighters fan as well, so Wasting Light or Color and the Shape. One of those, because I love both albums. I probably do Color and the Shape just for nostalgia. So there's 2 albums, so you can pick any kind of songs you want out of that. Oh, and That Song by Big Wreck, because I love that. I love that song. Josh in Texas 85 says, I missed your deadline. No, you didn't. You're still on time. Say you work for WWE and Triple H tells you, hey, wants you to be a scout in for AEW DNA. And bring back one man and one woman from each company that will make a huge impact on TV. Who do you bring back? I have to bring back one person? Let's see. Mustafa Ali, and I would just say Jordan Grace. That's who I would bring over. Like, I thought that she was former. Like, you could say we could get Ash by Elegance and bring her in and do that again. But I would say Jordan Grace is probably the other one, because she's been featured at least in the Royal Rumbles. She just looks like she'd be fit for WWE. AEW is an interesting one. It won't happen. I would bring Swerve, current Swerve, not touched in WWE, keep his current character, just let's get Swerve at a bigger platform and doing exactly what he's doing now with Prince Nana, just do it. And then he'd be world champion on Raw. That's what I would have. I would have Swerve come back for sure. The other one, Aleister Black. I was gonna say, like, if you want to pick somebody new, I'd say the Acclaimed, because I want to see what the Acclaimed could do with their personalities, them as a tag team on WWE programming, to see how that would shake out. But Aleister Black, Malachi Black, I would bring Malachi Black, Aleister Black back to TV, to WWE, and I would, under Triple H, give him more of what I think he should have been or what he was doing in NXT. I would give him almost that Undertaker style character. He doesn't wrestle every week. Keep him not like necessarily an attraction, but he's got feuds going on all the time. I don't need him locked in a room for months on end. He needs to be featured, I think, in a stronger way. And I say Undertaker, I don't need him, messing with the lights anymore, but that mythical, mysterious idea of him, make him dominant, make him huge and powerful. And that if you're going to get into a feud with Aleister Black, it's going to be rough. Like, you're going to go through something kind of almost like a Bray Wyatt or the Fiend, where it's like people are changed after they have a feud with him, and he gets wins. He gets wins on TV. That's what I would do. Mr. Potato says, who do you think will dethrone Cody? I don't think Cody has the title forever. I don't want Cody to have the title forever. I like seeing the title switch up a lot more. I like to see them kind of play with it a little bit. I'm not saying Cody needs to drop it to AJ Styles. That'd be cool. But I don't think that's gonna happen, nor do I think that should happen right away. I would like to see Cody drop the belt by SummerSlam or by Survivor Series. And kind of like a shock moment, like someone just destroys him. I don't know if there's like, you're gonna build somebody up to be like the next person to take over Cody's spot. I don't think we're in that era. I think Cody will remain top guy for the rest of his career, but I think he does need to drop the belt, chase it, drop the belt, chase it. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin had the belt a couple of times. Like, what was it, like 4 times? But he would only have it for a couple of months, and then he'd be chasing, and the fans loved him so much. And it was more impressive when he didn't have the belt, because then you'd be chasing for it and dealing with McMahon and all this other stuff. So I think Cody is kind of like that character where, he's not Austin, but like, he's better chasing the belt. So I want to see somebody else come in and just destroy him. Almost like you had Brock versus Cena when Brock made the comeback and decimated Cena and everyone was shocked. I don't need that necessarily, but somebody to dethrone Cody. I mean, I think The Rock is honestly going to take the title off of Cody, and then they'll ping pong it around a little bit. If it's not, I don't see it being Roman Reigns. An up and coming star in like 3 years, Trick Williams or Braun Breaker. But in the immediate, like, it's not Seth. You could do Punk, and you could get the title onto Punk, but he's probably going to be with the world title. It's very hard to say who's going to do it. I think it's going to be mostly tied up with the main event storylines of The Rock, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns. kind of feel like you get Rock in there, decimates him with the help of the new bloodline, and that's how Cody loses the belt. Maybe. In similar question, the Diamond King says, how long do you think Cody or Bayley or Sammy or Damian will be? So how long are all the champions going to stay champion? That is a good question. So Cody probably going to keep the title the longest out of all of those that you mentioned, because it's Cody. Bayley, I think Bayley will have a good run. I can see her dropping the belt by SummerSlam, and to who? I don't know. It depends how the draft shakes out, and we'll do videos on the draft as well. But Bayley, I don't see having it forever, not going on for a year. I don't want yearly long title reigns, but Bayley, maybe SummerSlam, and somebody else comes in and takes that belt off of her. Sammy, I kind of see even shorter title reign. Like, if he gets drafted with Chad Gable, maybe Chad takes the belt off of Sammy. I don't know. But somebody's going to come in, I think, and take that belt off Sami Zayn. And Damian Priest, I mean, he could lose the thing by Money in the Bank. It depends if they can keep Damian Priest hot and they do something with him and who his challengers are going to be. Because you have a really cool division, and they'll shake things up with the draft, where you have the likes of probably Damian Priest, obviously, CM Punk. You got Drew McIntyre, Seth, if he comes back, when he comes back. Those guys could all be kind of around there. Gunther could also be in the world title scene. You could do Chad Gable and bring him up a little bit more. Jey Uso could be fighting for the world title. They could mix it up a lot more. Maybe they're going to do something with Solo. I don't know. There are a lot of names. I don't see Damian Priest holding on to it very, very long. He would be like, maybe Money in the Bank. They have a cash in and he loses. You can always have, Drew takes the belt off of Damian Priest, and then that triggers CM Punk to return. And then there you go. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. And once again, thank you for being a subscriber, a viewer, just hanging out and watching some videos on the channel. It's a big week where we got the new studio coming out. It's not a big deal for everybody, but it's a big deal for me because it's a lot of growth and it's taken a lot of work to be able to get to this point, to be able to just kind of spread out a little bit and hopefully make content a little bit better, more engaging. And it's a good motivator to go into the next kind of phase. It's a new era of the Assemble channel. So I'm very excited. I appreciate you guys following along, hanging out, and like I always kind of say, you know what, you gave up your time because you decided to say, yeah, I'll watch this dummy for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, talk about wrestling. That means a lot because you're giving up your time. And that's what I appreciate the most. Thank you very much. I'm very excited for next week. There's more videos coming on the channel. Have a great day. See ya.